Hi, I'm Bobby, and today I'm revisiting one of my favorites, buffer geometry art. In this tutorial, I took a bunch of points and I jammed them into a 3 buffer geometry, and I colorized it based on those points position, and I got this thing here. Really like the look of it. One thing that's bothered me though is the colors. You can clearly see how the colors are laid out kind of predictably and maybe a little bit boring. So I wanted to mess with that today to see if we can come up with something a little more interesting. And to do that, I want to try importing the improved noise in Three.js. And by the way, inside of my index.html, I've set up this import map. So if I just type JSM as a prefix to my import, it knows where to look for all of those add-ons. So I want to instantiate that noise here. Const noise is equal to new improved noise. And inside of my get thing from where I'm setting the colors, I'm going to say let n is equal to noise.noise xyz. And I'll get this value, and I'll see it instantiate a color here. Let col equal a new 3.color, and then I want to set the HSL on that color. Oh, look at that fancy formula. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to save it, but I want to do mine first. And that's going to be just n, the noise value, the saturation value 1.0, and the lightness value. Then I'll pull out let r, g, b equal color. And let's duplicate this so I have the original. Let's set, let's push those color values, r, g, b. Let's see if this works. It works. Great. And this is the result. Interesting, but a little weird. Not necessarily better. To tweak it, I think we can add a noise frequency multiplier in here to kind of tone down the degree a little bit. Let's call this a const and let's start at 1, so that's the default, and let's drop it down to 1/10 of that. And I don't really see much of a difference. 1/100th. Now we're seeing a difference. There's much less variation, and that's pretty darn cool. And if I crank it up to 10, it should be completely chaotic, or 100. Yeah, it's pretty awful. It's unicorn vomit is what that is. Drop it down again. Drop it down a little bit less than that. Nope, still not there. Maybe 02. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like this better than the rainbow, which we can see here, because there isn't this really obvious separation of colors. I mean, the rainbow's great, don't get me wrong, but this is sort of cool. We can offset that too. Let's call this const and offset is equal to 0, and we'll add this offset when we're setting the hue. So there's no change there, but if I say 0.5, now the hue is shifted over. I like this. We got the purples, the blues, and the greens. And if I pump up the noise frequency to 1, it's awful again. I think it needs to stay down. I think the noise frequency needs to stay down for this to be interesting. Yeah. I could dynamically set this so it kind of cycles through. That would be cool. I think we need to do that right now. Let's start at 0. And this needs to now be... no, it doesn't. We can leave it there. Inside the animate function, I'm going to update this guy, which right now just makes it orbit around. But if I change the update method so that it's material, what's the name of my material? It's called material. Material.color.offset. Oh, let's try that. Is it doing anything, or is it too slow? I think that value needs to be dynamic. So I'll give it, let's just give it this, and we'll pass in T here. When you have a request animation frame called method, you automatically get this timestamp thing. I'm going to default it to 0. And then T times equals 0.01. Slow it down a little bit. Speed it up a little bit, I should say. Do you see an effect here? I'm not really seeing it. In order to offset the hue, I'm going to try cycling through every vertex and updating its color instead of just doing this offset. I wish I could just do this offset. I hate doing this. It just seems like a lot. How many points am I doing? 100 points or so? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Instead of this, boom, I'll do this. And the offset is T. You guys feeling that? I'm not noticing it. Oh, because I have to set the color again. Like this. I want to just see... The last thing I want to try before we go is to see what this value looks like. Boring! It's way too subtle. Maybe if I boost and freak up, like way up, way up. Whoops. No. All right. Well, thanks anyway. I want to just be able to turn that offset. But why can't I do that? I don't know why I can't do that. I really want to do it. I want to take this, modify it here. I don't need to set the vertex positions anymore. Just say const array is equal to an empty array, and then array.push those vertex colors. That I've just worked on and worked out. And then set that here. Like that. But it doesn't like it. It gets so mad. It said array is not defined. Oh, actually, I can fix that. Oh, I see. It's inside this thing. So each frame, I'm going to reset array. Still calling update? We are. Oh, I'm not passing T. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Slow it down. Finally, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Play around with the transparency. I think I could just add in another color value and we could like get dynamic transparency. That would be cool looking. I think I'm out of time though. Whoops. Experiment with dropping down the saturation or adding noise for the saturation even. Hang on a second. Instead of doing that, let's get this back. Now do T here. Ah! I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Leave your comments below. Thanks for tuning in. As always, let me know if there's something you'd like to see or if you have any questions. And thanks again. See you next time.